Right now, Slurf and Bitcoin are kind of following each other. The other altcoins are doing their own things to a degree. So obviously, I'm massively interested in TRVL. I bought TRVL today. I even posted that on my Twitter. The reason why I posted I bought TRVL was it might still go down. There's no reason why anything can't go down when you buy it, you know. But here, look on Bybit. I'm looking at it. It's at the value area low. We've had a little bit of a reaction. Yeah. At the moment, we held the higher low. It looks like we've held the higher low. I didn't buy to make this. I just saw that the price was naturally forming a higher low here on the 4-hour time frame. So if we do want to go up, this is the right place to buy. Yeah, it's the same thing. This is the right place to buy. So obviously I bought as much. I'd already sold some other altcoins, and then I just basically bought as much TRVL without moving the price. Obviously some people have joined in a little bit. On the daily time frame, that is the low, and so we are still kind of in higher low territory, and the 4-hour market structure is still bullish. We still haven't taken out this low on any of the exchanges. We still, naturally, the price has come in to make a higher low here, but you know, for continuation, the problem is continuation. It's not enough to just make a higher low. After you put in higher lows, you have to kind of go up and take out the highs. You know, that's what you really need for this idea to continue. So I think that's largely going to be dependent on Bitcoin, unless the selling has really finished, the selling has really ended. Now, what I can see with TRVL is that there's some people still selling. There's people buying. Maybe I initiated that, I don't know. I didn't move the price up, but someone then followed my buy with market buy. I basically bought with limit. I'm not buying with market at the moment. I'm buying limit, and so my strategy for buying with limit is putting limit orders just underneath the sell price, and it usually fills quite easily in small bits until I try and absorb the market selling. Basically, that's what I try and do. Rather than market buy, I'm trying to absorb market selling, because market selling is what pushes the price down. Limit selling doesn't push the price down. It's the market selling that pushes the price down, and naturally I'm trying to absorb the sellers. So I'm trying to absorb the market selling, and so that's why I put limit orders. At the moment, I'm not buying with market orders at all. Okay, and there's enough liquidity. What people don't understand, they say it's quite illiquid, but actually there's enough liquidity to fill positions if you break down your buying in small chunks, but you have to kind of put it 1 pip below the sale price on the spread, and it will fill. It does fill. You just have to be a little bit patient. So excuse me, looking at this overall range, we're at quite an important place. We're in this upper range value low. We're just underneath the overall range point of control on Bybit. Obviously on the other exchanges it's much lower at about 3 cents. And even though I think it's possible that Bitcoin drops, there's no reason TRVL drops. You know, it's a small market cap token. It has its own use cases. It has its own marketplace. It has its own community. It has its own interest, and it's a growing application. You know, every day on the Telegram I see new properties being added. I see new hosts coming online. I'm seeing new bookings made. Eventually this will become completely separate from crypto, because you have so much value coming into this token from the real world, completely separate from crypto, that it'll be impossible for this price of this token to be low. It'll be impossible. That will eventually happen. It may sway up and down with crypto, but there'll be a time in the future when you're going to get a permanent markup in value, and that will continue to grow dependent on the network size of Dtravel. So is this the right place? It's the right place to be wrong. Yeah, it's not a bad place to be wrong, because I can see the price is making a higher low naturally on its own. Little dip, little rounding bottom, hasn't taken out this low. You know, this little swing failure failed to take out this low. Failed. Yeah, I didn't interfere with that, but I saw it happening naturally in the markets, telling me that this is a good place to be wrong. Yeah, if I buy here and the price goes down, it's not a big deal, because you could buy here and the price could also now start going up on its own, because eventually there's been quite a large amount of volume, large amount of selling, and after all of that selling, to not be able to take out the low, it's a pretty poor performance for all those people selling, really, to be honest with you. After all of this selling, you would expect them by now to have taken out this measly low here, and they haven't been able to do that. Yet even after they sold here and tried to take out that low, they weren't able to take out. It's pretty poor attempt, to be honest with you. I find it quite feeble. So I don't really think the selling is that strong, but more so I think the buying is a lot stronger. I think the interest in TRVL on this token is much stronger than the selling, and naturally my continuous idea is, let's absorb the sellers and then eventually it will go up. Eventually it will go up. And it's hard to absorb sellers when sentiment is bearish, when Bitcoin is going down, but actually that's the best time to fill your positions. When the price when Bitcoin is pulling back, the market price of every crypto has a little pullback, and that's how you fill your bags without pushing the price up. Okay, so it's a good place. It's a good place to be wrong. It's in value area low. This could easily kind of go back up. Yeah, you'd have to reclaim the point of control here, obviously. And maybe then you'd get more market buying. But yeah, so regardless of anything, if we do go down, there's nothing to panic, there's nothing to worry. It's Bitcoin that's causing that. And generally speaking, if we do go down, it will be because people are just waiting for the price to find some kind of low support. We could get into a situation very similar to what I'm imagining with Bitcoin, where you have a similar situation where you have some kind of range low. At the moment, the range low is actually here. It could be very similar to Bitcoin. You have a range low here. This is the range high. You could get into a situation where you have a little failed auction at the lows in the first week of May, along with Bitcoin. Yeah. And then Bitcoin finds its strength and this just pops right back up. And then you along with Bitcoin, you end up with a mother of God impulsive rally. Yeah. It would fake out a lot of people, but it also give more people an opportunity to accumulate at lower prices and pick up more TRVL. Eventually the selling is going to end. Eventually people will exhaust, and then when Bitcoin goes up, the price is going to explode. This correction has been quite deep, you know, which is, if this is the wave 2 correction, yeah, this wave 1 has been quite poor. This wave 2 has been quite deep. It could be a good thing, actually, because if you have a poor wave 1 and a stronger wave 3, you could have a really explosive wave 5. If you have a deep corrective wave 2 you could end up with quite a nice flat wave 4. So often they do the opposites. When you have one like this, then the next one is going to be something else. So if we're having a very deep corrective wave 4 here, then the next corrective wave could be quite nice and flat, the wave 4. That's kind of what I would possibly be expecting. That will be after a massive sign of strength, and that will probably be after there's a utility for the token has been developed and applied, you know, and published, whatever. So that will give people a reason to not necessarily sell, but to hold and to accumulate more. So I'm not too stressed about what's happening, to be honest with you. I think a lot of people entered with me a bit lower and maybe some people haven't. They're just dollar costing, averaging from the highs. That's fine. For all intents and purposes, if we do follow Bitcoin, it will give people an opportunity to just pick up lower. Every single one of these daily levels, I think, if people are interested to scale in, just put your limit orders there, and eventually one of them will hold the price. You know, eventually, if we do drop, one of these levels will hold the price. And I'm thinking probably, I've got this Elliott wave marked out. Where is it? Here it is. Technically, if you want to be technical about Elliott waves, yeah, I've got our wave 0 starting here. Okay, at this pivot here, that's at 3.4 cents thereabouts. If you have a wave 1, then technically the wave 2 can come all the way down. It just can't make another low. Yeah, so technically if the wave 2 was to come all the way down to here, that would still be correct. That would still be correct. It would not invalidate this whole idea of what I'm drawing now. If you get into a situation where you actually drop underneath that initial starting point, then this whole Elliott wave count resets. You go back to 0. Okay, go back to 0, and you just have to start all over again. Now let's see, we just have to see what happens. I bought a lot today because this is the right place to buy, and it's the right place to be wrong. Okay, doesn't mean I'm going to sell what I bought. It just means it's a good place to buy. You know, if you're looking to buy, this is a good place to buy, right? Doesn't mean you shouldn't buy lower if you're continually dollar cost averaging. It's better to buy here than buy here after a little pump at 8 cents. It's better to buy here into support after a bit of a dump, holding a higher low. And if enough people were to buy and continuously buying, we could end up with the price being absorbed here. You know, it's all about supply and demand. But in terms of waves, if this goes all the way down to here without taking out that low, then it would still be correct. It wouldn't, nothing would be, this wave count wouldn't invalidate. So that's just something to bear in mind. That's just how Elliott waves work. The two can go all the way to the 0, but not underneath. It'd be very deep correction. We have to see how this corrects. If my count is correct, I hope it is. I don't see any reason why it isn't. Just from the 0 to the 1, where I've got the 0 going up to the 1, where it ends, then actually, you know, we may not even go down that far, because we may hold this higher low here, and you know, we're coming into the golden pocket here anyway. You know, we've bounced off the top edge of it. That's coming into my really important higher time frame SR flip, which was roughly about 5.5 cents. Honestly, I don't think you should